Hi, everybody. Leanne Holitza here at the Healing Studio. We're doing our weekly Oracle card readings today. We are going to use the Answer deck as always. And we are going to use the Secret Language of Light. I've got some Lotus Way Wild Abundance spray today. Need some wild abundance for sure. And we're using some gentle little celestite to keep us nurtured, softened, feeling cared for, that kind of thing. All right, so let's see what the week is going to bring. So let's see a couple of a little bit of announcements before I get started. This month is a little light just because May is a busy month for a lot of people, but we do have Friday Night Fun scheduled to this Friday for at 6, which that's just a free local event if you're around local. We've got sound baths, which are also local events. We have one on the 9th at 7 and one on the 21st at 5. Group healings, as always, on 11 on Tuesdays. That is hybrid. You can join that virtually. And then coming in, one of the big events that comes around twice a year is intention settings and affirmations, where we sit down and we write affirmations and intentions for the next 6 months. It's a very powerful way to kind of get in alignment and kind of predict a little bit of what's coming. That's taking place on June 29th. So that does sometimes fill up. So check it out. All right, let's get to it. If you haven't done this before with me, you have to type me please to get a card. Okay, and then I will throw you a card for the week. We're going to start off with reading for all of us, and then we'll do a 1, 2, 3 so that if you're watching later, you can participate, or if you are here live, you can pick that. That'll be your first card. Okay. Sometimes we get trolls. They say, DM me for a private reading. They are not associated with me, so just ignore them. I'll try to catch them. And if you hear a message that is yours, you will but your name's not on the screen, it's still probably for you. The guides like to kind of gather their people. So, okay, so let's get going. First card jumped out, which is transformation and feeling like we're repeating a cycle. Things are coming around again and again. But when it's sideways, it's like things are evolving. You're just in a labyrinth, and it's hard to tell sometimes in a labyrinth whether you're going forward or backwards. But no, nevertheless, things are changing, and so that's good. Helper for the week. This is ironic for certain things. This liberation card, when it's right side up, the helper card says be detached. This card for me is don't worry about money. Don't worry about a material world. Don't worry about any of it. Just detach from that stuff because it's all an illusion anyways. And this card is basically saying this week it would be really good to focus on everything except finances, which I could use right now. All right. We use a little detachment. End of the week, it's not time to surrender. It's time to hold your ground. It might feel a little bit like you're holding your breath because this card says exhale on it, which is like when you're not exhaling, you're holding in the air. Just kind of know you're going into a tense weekend next weekend energetically for whatever reason, and it's not a time to let your boundaries down. Next weekend, coming into the end of the week, you're going to want your boundaries up, and again, remembering to stay detached from that financial stuff. Okay. All right, let's do 1, 2, 3 with our secret language of light. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so pick a number, feel it in your heart. What's your number? Here's where we're starting. Okay, if you picked 1, you got light beings. Well, lights being light beings. Okay, what that is basically saying is that you kind of trust that you're here on purpose, that you're here to bring light to the planet, that you're here to be supported as we go through these big changes, and you wanted to be here as a soul. So this week is to remember that. Okay, this is number 2, which is variance. Okay, what this is saying, if you picked number 2, is that there is a wobble in the force, and there is some energies that are giving you an opportunity to decide which pathway do you want to take next. And then As you think about that, put yourself in alignment with that pathway. Know that there's lots of different paths happening, lots of different people doing different things, but you get to choose what you want to do. Okay. Ugh, my internet is being annoying. All right. Healing. This is the card for you if you picked 3. This week will be a week of healing. Feeling again that supportive energy from above, but also kind of grounding it into the earth and your existence here on the planet. Give yourself a little bit extra understanding about that. It is very much a situation where you have the opportunity to heal if you let yourself kind of move away, probably from that material detachment. Okay. All right. Here we go. Gina, you made it to the top of the list. Your card is about visualizing. Okay. So this week would be a good week for you to focus on picturing where you're going next. Okay. Now think of again that detachment card. You have everything you need. You're materially satisfied. You don't need to think about that part. Okay. This is visualizing, like, who are you around? What kinds of activities are you doing? What feels good? And spend as much time at visioning that in this week as possible. Okay. Drawing inspiration from the top down in. Okay. Rob, you've got transformation. Okay. So this is back to, remember the labyrinth that we had at the beginning of this week. You're going to be going through some big changes. And this week is the week where it may be confusing whether it's going to be forwards or backwards, but any change is good change. Lost my light again. I can't seem to master that thing. It's just a suction cup. And some weeks I can't even get it off my computer if I want to. Oh, I tell you. Okay. Keep going. Cece. I guess you guys know I'm totally real. No script here. Okay, Cece, your card for the week is Soul Family. Okay, and it's interesting because we just worked on this last week at group healing. This is kind of our star family energy. This is just reminding you that not everybody in your world is bloodline family, that there are people in your life that are asking for you to just really connect deeply and intimately with them on a soul level, because they're part of your soul family. They've been here for a while with you. Okay, you have mutual missions basically. So just kind of explore that more this week. Tiff, you got enlightenment. Well, that's awesome, huh? Something's going to be enlightening this week for you. So this card is basically saying just kind of embrace the big picture, take a step back, see how everything works together. There's no coincidences, work in the synchronicity. Okay. All right. Robin, you got remembrance. Okay. So this is like basically remember who you are, remember what you know, remember to unlock the wisdom within you. You've got all of that energy kind of waiting to be revealed this week. So this week would be a good week to journal, to kind of reflect, pause, celebrate what you've done in your life, that kind of thing. Okay. Barbara, you are the universe. Okay. So all the macro, micro, all that, the big stuff is in you. The little stuff is in there. Everything is as it is, right? You can't really separate yourself from the earth, from the universe, because we're all just part of it. There's no getting out of it. So this is kind of just embracing that, if that makes sense. You don't have to try to be anywhere, is what your guides just said. You just are. Okay. Cynthia, you've also got visualize. So again, we start to get 3 in a row. It's going to be a card for all of us. That card, Cynthia, is asking you to go back, material world aside, visualize what you want to feel like, what you want to be around, who you want to be around, that kind of thing for this week. Okay. Cynthia, you've also said, oh, for Diane, sorry, I just rested. I'm like, wait, didn't I? Okay, Diane. Sorry, got it. Focus, focus, Leanne. Focus. No, focus, Diane. Diane, you're getting asked to really use your time wisely. Maybe make a list of things you'd like to have accomplished this week, and then kind of chunk it out, baby steps, and really get things done this week. Okay, Jordan, you've got joy. That's a pretty cool card for the week, huh? Just be in joy. Don't worry about the material world. Don't worry about anything else like that. Just be in your joy. Okay, boop, Kimberly. Nothing has gone wrong. All right. Well, that's a good message, right? This little balance of give and receive, yin and yang. There's nothing that is awry. It's all in a balance. Sometimes we're ebbing and flowing. Now, remember that transformation card that we saw this week? Got to really be in touch with that and let yourself realize that there's a lot of extra space when you kind of let things go and you don't aren't attached to the outcome. Diane, you got the soul tree. This is reminding you of ancient wisdom, of just presence and pausing and not saying anything and just being witness. The tree it's rooted, it's in one spot, it witnesses change from that one spot. That's what this is kind of asking you to remember. It's kind of the soul, and the tree's got information coming from the earth, it's got information coming from the sun. It's all about just presence. Okay, so this week, good week to be just very present. Eyes open, mouth closed is what the guides just said. I love to say that. Oh, goodness. Okay. Boop. Tanya, Soulcraft. This week, it's maybe a week to explore. If money were no object, are you doing the job that you want to be doing? Are you in the work where that is actually your craft and your gift? If not, what would you want to do with that information, and how would you like to change? This week would be a good week to contemplate that. Now, not necessarily make changes, because if you remember, we're going into kind of a grippy feeling towards the end of the week, but just give yourself some awareness. Like, what is your actual soul craft? What are you actually really good at? If you took your job title away, your education away, and you were just like the essence of you. Okay. Jenny and Hannah. Okay, Jenny, you got focus. Second time we've seen that card. So singular focus. Get the things done that you want to get done. Don't focus on the things that don't matter, especially the material stuff this week. Just focus on what the tasks at hand are, and then let yourself kind of unleash that that inner taskmaster to get those things done that you want to get done. Hannah, you've got expansion. Okay. So your week is going to be very much about paying attention to what's unfolding, what's revealing itself, what wants you to learn more about it. Okay. Okay, cool. And I just kind of want to point out, you guys, so far, I see you, Gina, on Facebook, and Sandy, you on Facebook. But if the trick is to get on YouTube as far as getting on the top of the list, because it lets you comment a little early. Some of you commented as early as like 10:50. Okay, Nicole and Seth. Nicole, ask your soul. It's a good week to go and meditate, go upwards and see what does your soul want you to know about your time period in your life right now. Maybe you're looking at it too closely and it's not necessarily what is calling you forward. Seth, you're being asked to honor your own sensitivity and the sensitivity of others. Okay, so this is very much a time to know that the rose cannot be squished, right? And the rose has thorns on it. So if you did squish the wrong part of the rose, you'd end up not feeling so good. But the beautiful part of the rose has to be treated very gently and in order to be enjoyed properly, right? So that's what this is saying. Enjoy things properly with sensitivity. Carrie, you're on a soul journey, aren't we all? But this week is more important than ever for you to recognize what your soul is actually trying to do right now. If you remember the liberation card, if money were no object, if you weren't just, kind of in financial lockdown, but you were able to kind of think about things more abundantly, what would that look like? And maybe just spend some time there in your mind. Sam, there's only light. Okay, so this card very much talks about even the shadows are made from the light, right? The light is shining on an object, the object is blocking the light, there's a shadow, but there's only light. So there's no need to judge or categorize things negatively right now. You may feel hurt, but it's not, nothing's wrong. There's a reason that this is all going down the way it is. Okay. Christy, Kira and Finn. Christy, you're in an expansive this week. Your guides are saying, write it down so you can remember all the little epiphanies that are coming. Have a little notebook nearby. Write it down. Write it down. Okay. Kira, you're you got the light beings, which we saw at the beginning. If you picked one, they're doubling down. This just means you're here on purpose and you have helpers that you maybe can't see, but you don't have to do this alone, and you can always ask from those helpers to help you. Finn, you've got soul writing. Okay, I know you like to write, so here you go. It's time to write from your soul this week. Get some of that stuff out so that your soul can feel expansive and seen, okay? All right. Blossoming lotus, you got sensitivity as well. Be gentle, gentle, gentle with yourself and the world, and enjoy what is there gently, okay? And let yourself be as sensitive as you need to be right now. Kalina, you've got remembrance. So that card's just saying, go back, remember what you've already done, remember your soul's truth, your inner wisdom, what you are here to do, and then give yourself an opportunity to really, kind of bring that back online, okay? Cameron, you're in an inward revolution. So this would be a good week to go in. Meditation, calming, listening to yourself the best that you can, get your mind calmed down, that kind of thing, okay? So this week you're going to be asked to ask yourself, okay? Not the external. Sonia, you've got healing. So if you picked 3 at the beginning, it's reminding you, it's doubling down, but if you didn't, this week is going to be a healing week for you. It may not be fun. Sometimes healing's a little bit rough, but especially when we're in that like hold your breath kind of phase, but everything's going to be okay. All right. Kimberly, soul family for you. Be around those people that really make your soul sing, and give yourself an opportunity to recognize that not all of our families are blood families. Some of we're on similar journeys. So see who's around with you on the journey and embrace those relationships. Give them time this week. Okay. Jamie, your focus is visualize. And so that's the third time we've seen it. So everybody, this is our focus for everybody. For you, Jamie, though, in particular, I'm going to read a little blurb just because that's what I like to do once we get there, because there's wisdom coming from the guides, but there's also wisdom in these decks, the people who wrote them. So this visualize basically says your imagination is a magical superpower that develops the content, look, and feel of your life. Use your inner vision to maintain or transform anything in your life. Okay. It goes on, but that's basically what this is saying is use the power of visualization. Maybe every single day, wake up, check in, visualize what you're doing. Okay. Aaron, create some space. Get there. Go ahead and give yourself some space. It's okay. However you can do it. If you need to go outside, if you need to sit in the closet, whatever you need to do, just to get yourself a little space this week, especially space from that material world. Okay. Eat 100 foods. You also got create space. See how they stack it together sometimes? That's because they want you to hear more. So it's time to leave is what this card is saying. I'm hearing for both you, Aaron, and eat 100 foods. Your guides are saying it's time. It's time to go. It's time to find a new path. It'll help you create space if you start looking where you want to go next. Okay. Janice, grounding for you. Okay. So really bringing that light from the sky down, down, down into the earth. It'll be really important for you to do that every single day, if not many times a day. Check in, drop in, feel the earth below you, and feel like you're part of it. Okay. That'll get you somewhere you need to get. Okay. Janelle and Donnie. Janelle, you're in a transformation week. Okay. So let the big picture be revealed. Now, remember, we're not talking about material this week. We are talking about, I see, actually, it's funny. There you are. I'm talking about I'm not talking about materials. Obviously, we're talking about just like the world wants to show you something different. Okay. Donnie, you're in expansion. That's the third time we've seen that. So thanks for bringing that online for all of us. So this is a good week to just really feel into what you've already done, and to kind of ground it, but also see what else you're learning. Okay. I'm going to read a little blurb. Are you keeping up with your life and all of you want to create, or are you holding yourself back with what ifs or buts? You limit your life through your beliefs. Everything you say and everything you do becomes true for you and is a platform on which you build your life. So everybody this week, check your thoughts, especially about material situations. Give yourself a little bit of room and see what you really truly want to change next. Okay. Astrid, You got divine masculine energy, okay? So this week you're being asked to re-embrace the divine masculine energy. That means doing, singular action, protective by nature, selfish. I mean, not in a bad way, actually just singular. It's important to take care of that singular self. So this week would be your focus on the divine masculine. Michaela, you're on a soul journey too. Of course you are. But this week would be a good week to kind of revisit feelings of like past lives, feelings of what you kind of patterns that you're repeating. Like I've got so many patterns repeating right now. It's not even funny. So just kind of watching that go down and see what's happening and what do you finally want to like kind of throw off the merry-go-round and do differently. All right, Courtney. You got Soulcraft, okay? So this is checking in with not your work, but what your essence is. Are you doing what your essence is and your service heart? Are you offering your service, who you are as your soul, as a service to the planet? Because when you do that, you are richly rewarded. So check in with that this week. Heidi, you got variance, okay? I think this is only the second time we've seen it, I want to say, but maybe the third time. I normally better remember that, but this is basically saying that there's going to be lots of choices, lots of options in front of you. Give yourself some space to kind of pause for a minute, realize the gift of choice and the gift of diversity, and then bring yourself back, okay? Back to yourself, what choice you want to make. Sandy, divine animals. So you're being asked to hang out with the animals this week. My 22-year-old asked if somebody would take him to the zoo yesterday. maybe you want to go to the zoo. So go and spend some time communing with nature, paying attention to how nature communicates, because nature has its own wisdom and every animal has its own divine way of being in the world. And sometimes it's good to tap into those divine animals. We can do that just intentionally. We don't have to go pet the tigers. Patty, there is only light. Okay, so remember that there is only light. Even the shadows are because of the light. Nothing's wrong. It's going to be okay. And in fact, it's going to be more than okay. And when your soul reviews it, your soul will be like, that was cool, even when it didn't feel like it. All right, Meredith, nothing's gone wrong. Kind of a similar message that Patty just got. Like I said, sometimes I'll stack you guys together. This is basically like, just accept the dark nights, the daylights, they all go together. They are all have balance and importance. And it's okay for you to kind of recognize that even when you're uncomfortable, sometimes that uncomfortableness is important. Gina, channeling. All right, you're going to be getting some messages. So give yourself a little chance, maybe even automatic write. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but you can just put a question, write it quickly, put a question, write it quickly, and see what wisdom comes out, because maybe you'll find out that you are getting some information that's a little bit beyond you. Okay. I've been doing the light council for a while now, and I can tell the difference. I couldn't always at the beginning unless I was really truly like in alignment to channel, but whether or not it was just my head or the light council. But now I can hear the light council all the time and know the difference between me and my guides and that kind of thing. So give it a try. Bella Luna, your gut visualized. So that's the fourth time we've seen it. So doubling down again. So let's give ourselves another look and see if there's another message in here that we want to get. So for you, it says, you are creative. Everything you dream, think about, and experience was and will be created by you. Blow bubbles and imagine each bubble is a desire or a dream. Choose the feeling of your dream and desires and place it in the bubble. Okay, that sounds like a fun practice. Revisit photos and show orbs, and remember what you were feeling at that moment. These feelings are linked to the path of least resistance of your dreams. Okay, so if you can dream it, you can be it. That's basically what that's saying. Okay, Crystal? All right, and if there's any of you kind of hanging out that hasn't me pleased me, go ahead and type me please and I'll pull you a card. Crystal, your card's jumping out of the deck. You got awakening. Okay, so there's something here that's trying to really open and reveal itself, and this week is a good week for you to kind of be part of that. And again, keeping out of the way of that material fears, and just let kind of the universe reveal itself. Okay, Natalie, Natalie, you've got soul song. So this is actually literally asking you to sing, listen to music, talk to your guides through the songs, put yourself through the paces of, humming and intentionally, like, Om and, Ram and all the ones, all of it. Just go in and use sound to kind of move your energy this week. Okay. All right. Miranda, you got insight. Okay, so for you this week, some things are going to kind of show up a little bit more intentionally. It's going to be more about whether or not you can put yourself in receiving of that. And if you're not worried about the day to day, like that, remember that material worry they keep saying get rid of this week, then you won't necessarily have to be distracted by that. And you can actually get some true insight. Okay. All right. So now we are hanging out with a little bit of time left. I'm going to put this back up. If you're out there and you haven't pleased me, feel free. I see one coming up here. Oh, no, that's just Crystal woohooing us. Woohoo. Okay, so I'm just going to throw a couple more cards. I'm going to actually, I think I'm going to throw a card on behalf of my husband right now, just because sometimes he listens and while he's grocery shopping for us or something. All right, so for him, he's got his focus this week is on color. Okay, so just giving everything a little bit of variance, be able to just focus on the beautiful stuff around you, the way color feels, that kind of thing. And yes, Teresa, I can give you a card. All right. Here you go. You caught us at the end here, but you're good. Soul writing. Okay, so this week would be a week for you to journal, write, put your energy on, focusing on what you would want to put down as either as a story or as wisdom. This will be a good week to really focus on writing that stuff out. Maybe even if you just get to an outline first, again, not worrying about the material space. Okay. So don't worry. Everything I keep hearing from the guides, everything is unfolding according to a divine plan. Even the stuff that feels really crunchy right now, there's important lessons being learned by everyone who's involved. And these lessons couldn't be learned any other way. So I don't know about you, but I'm like, oh, again, more lessons. Okay, see, oh, there's my husband. See, you're welcome. All right, I'm going to put back up the banner since we do have just, like 2 minutes left. In the meantime, I'll throw some more cards for just in general what we need to know. Oh, they're having me switch back to the Yantra deck. Okay. Well, let's see. The guides of the boss. Okay, here we go. Okay, attention sideways. Okay, this is basically what this is saying is actively. So with my husband's color card, for example, actively pay attention to what you want to pay attention to. Be fully present with what's in front of you. Notice what's calling to you to pay attention. Don't let your attention drift to the stuff that's negative and you don't want to be, involved in, right? You just want to keep yourself focused on the here and now and be disciplined in your focus. Okay. I know it's easier said than done. I'm a human too. I do this as well. So, okay. Another bit of advice from the Yantra deck. Oop, that one just jumped out too. Okay, vision. So guys, remember we got the visualize card over and over and over and over. This card is also saying this. Be with your vision. Do it often. Run it like a movie through your head. Give yourself some space to be able to think about that in a certain way, holding yourself in the space of just truly understanding that you are the creator. You're the one who has that. I love the image of the bubble, by the way. That was really cool. So like, blowing bubbles and being like, oh, that's a creation I just made with my own breath through the soap, right? So give yourself awareness that stuff is all magically easy when you let it be. But visualizing, being joyful in those visualizations, being mindful, setting clear intentions, all of that stuff is really important when it comes to manifesting. And I think you guys know this, but it's always good to hear it again, especially from the guides who want us to be our most abundant, happy, joyful selves. All right. Well, now next weekend is Mother's Day. I said it prematurely last weekend. It's debatable whether I'll be online. Probably not. I think what we'll probably do is just skip next week just because I am a mother. I do have mothers. I would probably be best serving that and probably you guys too. Okay. So I will see you in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.